Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, look at the year 1989. We had Batman, Lethal Weapon 2, Back to the Future 2, The Abyss, Leviathan, The Last Crusade. I mean, what else came out that year? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Just a great year for movies. And
speaking of Don Johnson, Dead Bang.
Yeah, Dead Bang. When Don Johnson came out, and he was still doing, Miami Vice at the time.
Yeah, that was another thing that helped defy the age, just like with Rambo, of course. We got to mention that, Don Johnson and Ren Stallone.
Yeah, I was trying to think of other movies that came out that year because it was such a great year. Roadhouse. We were talking about Roadhouse.
Of course. And by the way, we have to mention this. Because this is a very straight coincidence. 1989, these two movies came out, and Patrick Swayze was the original choice to play Cash before Kurt Russell.
That's right. Patrick Swayze was considered for this film.
That would have been amazing.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that would have been amazing to see.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I mean, just think of Stallone and Patrick Swayze just having the kind of crazy kind of rapport between characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, you don't dance dirty. You fight dirty, bro.
Yeah, I can see like Stallone just bagging on. Oh, why are you dancing?
We're gonna be nice until it's time not to be nice.
I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
We were like, we're gonna be nice until it's time not to be nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one. I love it.
They can both rip out some throats.
Oh, Rambo and Dalton ripping out throats, baby.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, 1989 was just a great year overall, and this film, I mean, like I said, it came out like the last week of December that year, so it was one of the last American released films of 1989, and it definitely ended the year with a bang.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. But I just watched that like a couple hours ago, and that was, to relive that again, so much better than I remember it. Like, there were so many things I didn't give it credit for in the past that going through this time I appreciate a lot more watching it.
What do you think about the 1989 year? I mean,
that, like, the summer of the bat, like, that was a big year. Like, wow, I remember being a kid for that, and that was intense, man. Just Batman alone was intense for that. And like you guys said, like The Last Crusade, that was just an epic serial of a time for a movie, and some really great things.
Yeah, Batman dominated that year, but it still consisted of a lot of great movies that you can't go wrong with.
Most definitely.
Yeah, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's always gonna be a classic. I got to go to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids land when I was on vacation last summer, and it's crazy. It kind of gives you a scope of what it would have been like to actually work on that set. It's amazing, like giant Play-Doh canisters and like giant spider webs, and everything is larger than life. When I get my pictures transferred, I'll send you guys some photos.
All right, where's that again?
It's at Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know they still had that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's small. It's now they turned it into like a mini park for kids, like a little almost like not like a daycare area, but just like somewhere where the kids can climb around and stuff.
Okay.
And they have like the ants in there, Andy's in there. It's pretty cool.
I know that.
Yeah.
That's a great movie, just a classic.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
So 1989 was a great year. Next question: when you think of Tango and Cash, what comes to mind?
Of course, every time I think of Tango and Cash, I think of that poster with Stallone on one side and Kurt Russell on the other side. Of course, Stallone with his glasses, And what was interesting, that was at that time, that's how Stallone would go out. He was wearing glasses because he said at that time that I think they want him to play Cash because Cash, the character of Kurt Russell, he was more of a renegade, and and Tango was a little bit by the book, and Stallone they wanted him to play Cash, but Stallone was like, he wanted to change his image a little bit because of Rambo, and Cobra, so he picked the Tango part, and Kurt Russell picked the other part, and of course, every time I think of Tango and Cash, I think about those two guys, and they're battering back and forth, and how much they're rivals with each other, and of course the badass scene in the climax with that RV, which of course.
Mm-hmm. Me personally, I every time I think of Tango and Cash, I always think of that epic opening to the film. That opening was so cool with the music, and then like the showdown with the rig, and oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that opening sequence definitely it speaks volumes about what you're getting into. I mean, Stallone's character is kind of a city cop, and you got the little jokes in there about he thinks he's Rambo. Rambo's a pussy. Kind of a different role for Stallone. I mean, around this time, like you say, just coming off Rambo 3,
yeah,
a lot of people kind of expected, the kind of same one-man army, but he's still one-man army, but at the same time, he's a city cop. He wears glasses. He's more well-spoken. Where Kurt Russell's character, he's more the renegade. Let's kick some ass right now type of guy.
And also, you can kind of see that trademark remodeling of Stallone, because you got like, let's say for Tango and Cash, like he was going into that, like Wildman was saying, he was going into that whole era of wanting a new look. I remember seeing, I don't think it was the Barbara Walters special, but it was not a 2020, but something like that, where they were talking about the revamped Stallone going towards Rocky V.
Iconic Barbara Walters piece after the Bridget Nelson breakup, where he's in total Rambo 3 mode with the long hair and the muscles and everything. And if you go back even further,
he was walking. You remember when he was walking with Barbara Walters with the long hair and his speedos and shit?
Yeah,
on the beach.
And if you go back even just a little bit further to like the music, the MTV boom, when you had like the Sammy Hagar song for Over the Top, you can kind of see in that music video, you can see the transformation between Lincoln Hawk and Rambo 3, where the hair is getting longer and he's way more buff. So it's like kind of, it was neat to kind of like that whole, like maybe within a span of a year, you can kind of see him mold into this new era of Stallone. Like the very sophisticated, the glasses, the suits, very articulate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that worked well for Rocky V, but but I mean, he came back and redeemed himself with Demolition Man and Cliffhanger that came out the same year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even '89, he still did Lock Up, and that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have mentioned that. Yeah, Lock Up. Those were two good movies that year for him, and despite the fact they didn't do well, but those were very good projects for him. Because he, like I said, he was trying to do something different, going to the dramatic thing, and of course with Tango and Cash, he still plays a renegade cop, but still playing by the book and everything. And of course, another interesting thing is that Lethal Weapon 2 was released that year, and so it was kind of like a competition. And I love the Lethal Weapon films, but Tango and Cash is my favorite buddy movie of all time. And Tango and Cash, if I had to choose between Lethal Weapon 2 and Tango and Cash, it would definitely be Tango and Cash for 1989, most definitely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I love those movies too. A weird story is I had this babysitter, Melinda Brown, and when Batman came out, she went to see Batman, and the next day she was babysitting me, and she was like, "You want to go catch a movie?" So I went with her and her boyfriend to the theater. I really wanted to see Batman, but they already saw it, and I was really young. I was like maybe 9 or 10. So instead, I got to go see Lock Up in the theater, which was awesome. awesome. See that movie.
You saw that in theater?
Yeah. I saw Lock Up in the theater. I saw Rocky V in the theater. Pretty much everything from that era up. Everything Sly, that era up. Except for Cliffhanger. I wasn't old enough. I was only 13 when Cliffhanger came out. And it was 16 and over here, so I couldn't get in to see it.
It would have been awesome to see Cliffhanger in the theater.
Yeah. We're going to be covering
I did go see Cliffhanger in the theater when it came out. I did go see Cliffhanger.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
You saw it from space?
Yes, I did.
satellite.
I can capture a good signal up here.
Got the best miles.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh man.
We're going to be covering Cliffhanger work print, I think, next week.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then Slycast is covering it too, so I think we're going to do something with Slycast for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you guys seen that work print?
Nah.
It's very. It's.
I saw it. I did see it. I did see it on YouTube once. I did see that.
It's extended. It's a little bit hard to watch, but it's extended and it has like music from Die Hard in it and music for Predator instead of the score, and like the Stallone even has like John McClane moments when he's climbing up the cliff to meet the other guy. Michael Rooker. He has like a John McClane moment where he's climbing up, where he's like, "Come out to the coast, have a couple of laughs," like that kind of line. I can't remember exactly what the line is, but he has like a line like that, like that type of line. Yeah.
Man.
It was kind of like Die Hard on the mountains in a way.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, that's a good analogy right there. But I mean, Tango Cash is just what I think of the film. To me, it's an action classic. It's a classic buddy cop film, and yes, I would choose it over Lethal Weapon 2. And I think it's underrated. I mean, when it comes to the buddy cop genre,
Absolutely.
It is very underrated.
I mean, this is a film that has. I was telling Matt, 34% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like a 6.3 on IMDb.
Oh please, fuck that shit.
But next question. The film is led by two greats of Stallone and Kurt Russell. What are your thoughts on the casting of these characters and what makes their rapport work?
Okay, I'm gonna start on this because I love this movie to death. Well, I think what made it work is because Stallone and Kurt Russell they were the top action heroes of that time, and they played characters that represented the American badassery of America. You know, because Stallone he was popular with Rambo, and Rambo was a huge thing in the '80s, and of course before that you had Snake Plissken, who was another icon of America, and these two characters
still is
kind of. Sorry?
Still is with like the video games and all that. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, absolutely. With the merchandise and stuff like that, and like I said, but Rambo kind of had Snake Plissken was before Rambo. But Rambo kind of took it to another level with the merchandise and the pop culture and everything. But Snake Plissken was still going around. Of course, Kurt Russell made it big with Big Trouble in Little China after that, and he was getting up there being an action star, and seeing the two guys together, of course, it was like once again, it was like Rambo and Snake Plissken together. It was like because it was like Stallone is he's still a cop, but he's still a renegade sometimes, but he's still by the book. And Kurt Russell, he's the classic renegade cop, you know, but doesn't play by any rules and anything. And I like what I also remember about that movie was Kurt Russell's gun, with the laser sight. It was kind of like the same gun he used in Escape from New York, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to say it's Rambo and Jack Burton, if you want to use that.
You can say that. And speaking of that, I did tell you about that fan film with Snake Plissken and Jack Burton together, Escape from New Jersey, Escape Big Trouble in New Jersey.
I didn't hear about that.
I told you about that when me and Fabio were talking. Yeah, that's what made me discover what fan film was. And you're right. It's like Rambo and Jack Burton together because they're cracking each other and stuff like that and everything. Especially in prison where his catches friends is like, "What's wrong with your buddy?" He said he misses his wardrobe and stuff. And when they're walking away, Stallone is like, "I do miss my wardrobe."